Good evening. Today I am going to discuss about bytes data type. Next one is byte array. I'm going to discuss about byte array and also list data type. Okay. So first let us see what is meant by a bytes data type. So in the name it says what group of bytes. So let us discuss first what is meant by a byte. So if you are going to store some data in our memory internally, it will store in the form of bits. Basic thing is what? Bits. So bits are nothing but 0 and 1. If you are going to group these bits as 8 bits equal to 1 byte. So now I am discussing about bytes. Bytes is nothing but what? 1 byte is nothing but 8 bits. So bits are in the form of what? Binary. Binary means 2. So 2 power 8 is nothing but 256. Okay. That means bytes means what? The values from 0 to 256. Okay. Up to 256. In our general language we will take only up to 0 to 255. Here in bytes we can consider 256 also. So in yesterday's class we have seen an immutable reusability concept. So initially 0 to 256 objects will be created, okay, for int type of data. In the same way here I am going to discuss about bytes data type. Bytes means here it is not a byte. Bytes means group of bytes, group of values, group of byte values. That means in this way the values are going to be stored. That means if you want to store a group of byte values, then I have to go for a data type called as bytes. Okay, this is for what? To represent a group of byte numbers. Here what is meant by what are the byte numbers means 0 to 256. Here this bytes data type is also immutable. Already you know what is meant by immutable. Immutable means, let us consider here I have created one bytes data type. The values are 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Here this is indexes will be 0, 1, 2, 3 and -1, -2 and so on we are going to have. Once if I am going to insert some value into this 0th location, if I try to change it, let us consider b of 0 equal to 60, I am going to insert. So it is not possible. Reason is what? Bytes data type is what? Immutable. That means if you are going to create bytes once, then automatically we cannot change the value of that bytes. That concept is called as what? Immutable. If you want to insert that 60 element, we have to create a new location for that. Okay, that means once you are going to create a bytes array, if you are going to insert the values into that, we cannot change the values of that bytes. Okay, so now let us take some examples for these bytes. Okay, now let us see here. So here I'm going to consider one. So b equal to, I'm going to take some value. So b equal to 1 minute. Okay, b equal to, I'm going to consider 10, 20, 30. Here I'm going to consider one data type. It is not a bytes data type. It is a list. Okay, type of I want to print this one. Okay, it is what? List. But generally to store some data, I am going to use this list. I can use list, tuple or any set. So for the example sake, I'm going to use b equal to 10, 20, 30. These 10, 20, 30 are within the range of bytes. That means these values are in between 0 to 256. Okay, now I want to store this as a bytes data type. So I'm going to store by using a bytes function. So bytes of, I'm going to use what? Which one I want to convert? B. So now what happened? X is nothing but a bytes type. Let us see the type of X now. So the type of X is what? Bytes. Initially I have created some of the values which are under the range of bytes in some list, or I can store it as tuple also. Then I'm going to convert it into a bytes type by using a function called as bytes. Okay, right. Now I want to print the values that are present inside X. I will print B. If I print B, no problem. We are going to get the values 10, 20, 30 because B is what? list of items. It is considered as a list data type. So after completing this bytes and byte array, we are going to discuss about list data type. Now I want to print X. So if I'm going to print X, what happened here? Some different address we are going to get. So let us see whether the same address is going to be generated if we are going to execute by our as a program also. Let us see. So here I'm going to convert some X equal to bytes of B. Now I want to print what? Print X. Now see. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, I will execute here. Okay, so Python space first.py. Okay, I think it is not saved here. Once again, I will open in a new file. Okay, here I am going to consider same example. Some B equal to 10, 20, 30, and I want to convert that one into the list of items into bytes. So I'm going to use what? B. Just I want to print that X. Okay, so I'm going to save this one first.py in my desktop. Okay, right, now see. So see here, same values we are going to get. These are not the values what we have stored inside our bytes. That means what? Internally it is going to give me some code which is in the ASCII form. These are ASCII code in the form of some hexadecimal also. So if we want to print the elements that are present in our bytes, so we have to use a for loop. So we are having a for, that is for X in B, for example. For X in, sorry, I will take for I in X. That means what? For every value in X. The meaning of this one is nothing but, till now I have not discussed about for. It is nothing but what? For every value in X that will be stored in I, and it is, I am going to print that value. Then what happens? The values of X will be printed completely. So now see, we are going to get what? 10, 20, 30. So once again, I'm going to explain. So see here, if you are directly printing the bytes type, we are going to get what? Some ASCII code in the form of hexadecimals. So if you want to print the values of byte data type, then we have to use a for loop. Now what happens here? For I in X, that means what? I is some external variable I have taken. Already in X we are having what? 10, 20, 30. If I want to print that, if I write for loop, first what happens? X, how many values X is going to contain? 10, 20, 30. In first for loop, the 10 is going to be passed into I. Print I means 10. Next loop 20. Next loop 30. So the elements of X is completed. That is a 10, 20, 30 are printed. There are no elements. So automatically for loop is going to be exited. So here one point you have to understand what? If you want to store any data into a bytes array, so compulsory the value should be only between 0 to 256. So let us check whether it will take more than 256 or not. So see here, I am going to take B equal to, I can also take in tuple also. In this way I am going to take some values 10 comma 265 comma 48. So as it is not a byte, it will take. If I try to convert this one into byte, let us see. Bytes of, I want to convert B. So now see what happens. So bytes must be in the range of 0 to 256. That means what? Initially I am going to take a group of elements into some data type, some data type, and I want to convert that type to bytes type. If I want to convert any type to bytes type, it should be in the form of what? sorry, it should contain what, 0 to 256 values only, but here it contains what, 265 value. So we are going to get value error. So next, I will try to store some a equal to bytes of empty. For example, I am storing empty. If I print a, what happens? It is nothing but empty. Okay. So whatever we are going to store, see here you can observe clearly. So b in front of the values. All these values in front of this one, what we are going to have? B. So b represents what? Bytes. So here I am not going to give anything. So it's going to print as what? Empty. So next, if I try to give some value, only single value, for example, in this way. So 120 I am going to give. So see, if I print this one, what happens? 120 empty values are going to be printed. So it is what? Nothing is there in that 120. Okay. Here in the bytes of what we have to pass, in the bytes of method, I have to pass some values. So here B contains what? For example, here. So here B contains what? Some data. So some data it is going to contain. So if you send some data into to the bytes array, it is going to give you what? A group of bytes. But here what you are going to use? Just you are going to tell 120. That so that it is going to give what? Empty 120 values, which are nothing but zeros. So that if you want to convert any numbers into bytes, compulsory you have to take it into one other type. For example, I want to convert 120. So x equal to 120 I have taken. So a equal to, for example, I want to convert it into x. So see, in this way. Now if I print x, a, it is going to give you what? Again 120 values. Because why here it is going to give? Here if you take in one variable and if you write that variable, same value. Here what happens? Group of values should be taken. That means generally we will take bytes in a list. We can also take in tuple also. So now see, if I place this one x equal to 120, for example, if I take in this way, let us see what happens. So a equal to bytes of x. So now print a. Now see, it is going to give some value. Okay. So list of values should be taken here. So if I take two more values, you can observe here some 20. And for example, a equal to bytes of the value is what? X. Print a. We are going to get what? Some values we are going to get. That means what? Internally, if you want to print the elements of bytes, we have to use some for loop. So this is about bytes values. If I want to convert any, let us consider, I want to store the string in the form of bytes and I want to print that. Okay. Okay. Before going to that, I want to show you the internally how it is going to store the values by indexes. Let us see here. So here already I have shown you some -1, -2. This is what? -3. This is -4. This is -5, for example. So what is the point I have discussed about this one? It is what? Immutable. That means once the value is inserted into this one, we cannot change the values. So let us try and let us see what happens if I try to change the value. Okay, here I will take one one list, 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 50, for example. I want to convert this one into what? Some bytes. So bytes of a. Okay, bytes of a. So now x contain what? Some value. So x contains what? Group of bytes. So if I want to change some x of 20, sorry, x of, what are the values we are having? How many are there? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 5 values are there. That means indexes from what? 0 to 4, positive indexes. Negative indexes are from -1 to -5. So I want to change x of 0 value, for example, equal to, I want to change it to 60. So see what happens? Type error. Bytes object does not support item assignment. The reason is what? It is what? Immutable. That means once the values are given to the bytes, it cannot be changeable. Okay. That is the reason why we cannot change this one. So now if I want to store one string type, for example, I'm going to store some string type. I'm going to store my name, for example. Okay. So see here I am going to use, this is what? This is nothing but a string. If I print this one, the string is going to be printed. Let us see type of a here. So it is going to give str type. We know this one. Now I want to convert the same thing into bytes. Just I want to use what? A equal to, in front of this one, just place B. So now see, here I want to see the type of B. It is going to give me what? Class tuple. Okay. Now I want to convert it into what? Bytes. Let us see what happens. So here, okay. So generally it has to be bytes. Okay, once again I will check this one. The same thing I will consider. Type of A. So see, here we got, okay, here I have a printed type of B, but B is not here. I have taken somewhere B as tuple. So here what I have this, consider this example here. Okay, I have taken the value as B here, but I have to take A. So here I have taken what? A. So type of A is what? Class bytes. That means what? If I'm going to use B in front of a string, I'm going to get what? It as a bytes type. If I print A, no problem here. Directly we are going to get the value because it is a group of characters, that is a string. Okay. Now if I want to see what is meant by S, what is meant by I, in how bytes is storing these values. Generally what I said to you, if you are going to store a group of values as a bytes, compulsory the value should be what? 0 to 256. Okay. Now how I have stored this Shiva and Rama in my bytes? Reason is internally we are having what? Unicode. Okay, for each and every character also we are having Unicode internally, so that I can store. S means what? Some value will be there. Let us see what are those values. I will print those all values. So see here. Here I am going to consider that one. Some S equal to, for example. Okay, directly I am going to take. Okay, now see. So automatically you can see what are the values we are going to get. 1 minute. Let's see here. We are going to get what? Shiva, Ram. Individually, if I want to print, I can use this one. Okay. Okay. 1 minute. Okay, here just I have printed what? String. If I want to print in the form of bytes, so string means what? All the characters are going to be given in the form of individual characters. So first S will be printed, next I will be printed, V will be printed, A will be printed, space also will be printed. See here, space also will be printed. But now what I want to print? I want to print the bytes. Now what happens? Now Shivaram will not be printed. The reason is what? I want to print the byte value, not the S, not I, not V. Now you can see what some numerical values you can find out here. See here. What are these? 115 is what? 115 is nothing but the Unicode for S. And next one is what? I is what? I is the Unicode for 105. In the same way, V and A. What is this? 32. 32 is for space. For space also we have some ASCII code. So in the same way, RAM, R is for 114, next A is for 97, and 97 is for A, and 109 is for M. Okay, this is the concept of bytes concept. Okay, here we have to mainly remember two things. One is what? One is bytes means if you want to store anything in a bytes type, compulsory it should be the values from 0 to 256. Next, it is a immutable. That means once we are going to create any bytes type, the value cannot be changed. Okay. Next, if you want to print the values, it is not going to print the values directly. It is going to print in the form of some code and some encoding type, like ASCII. Let us consider ASCII. Okay. If you want to store this string in the form of bytes, just we can place B in front of that string. So automatically it will store the ASCII Unicode of that particular characters into our bytes. Okay, right. So this is about bytes. So now I'm going to see one more type called as byte array. Byte array. Okay, there's only one small difference between bytes and byte array. That is nothing but if you are going to consider bytes, it is immutable. Our byte array is mutable. Okay, bytes and byte array are both are same. Only the difference is what? Bytes is immutable and byte array is mutable. Every value here also same thing. Every value should be within the same range as we have seen in the above bytes. Let us see same thing here. But one thing is what here, I can change the values of this byte array. So same thing I'm going to consider. I'm going to take a list of values here. Okay. Now I want to convert this list of values into byte array. So some x equal to byte array of a. Here I am going to use which function? Byte array function. If I print x here, here also same thing it is going to print, but here it is in the form of what? Byte array. So main difference we have to understand what? Here it is what? Immutable. Sorry, it is mutable. Byte array is immutable and bytes is immutable. That means what here I will try to change the value of x of 0 as 60 for example. So it is possible, no problem. So let us check whether if you want to check this one, whether it is changed or not. Let us take the same example here. Here initially I'm going to take a equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30 for example. Okay, so now I want to convert it into what? It into a byte array, not bytes, byte array. Now I want, first I will print without changing the values. Now see, we are going to get what? 10 20 30 values. Now as it is a mutable, I will change the values of byte array. Some x of 0 equal to, for example, 200. Next one, or first I will take 100. Next, x of 1 equal to, for example, 200. I am not going to change x of 3. And same value, same thing I want to print here. So let us see whether the values are going to be changed or not. Right, see here. First three are what? Normal. Before going to change the value, we are going to get 10, 20, 30. After changing, we are getting what? Changed values we are going to get here. That means what? Only difference between bytes and byte array is what? Only that bytes is immutable and byte array is mutable. Okay, let us see some value by inserting the range. Let us see same range. Okay, that means what? Up to what I can take here, I can take up to 0 to 256. Let us try whether I can take or not. 10, 256, 258 for example. I have taken this one. So I want to convert this one as a byte array. So byte array of a. Okay, now see what happened. The range should be in between what? 0 to 256 only, but I have taken what? 258. So except this mutability concept, remaining are same for both the bytes and byte array. That means if you want to store a group of bytes which cannot be changeable, then we have to go for bytes data type. If you want to store a group of bytes which can be changeable, then we have to go for byte array. So here the main rules are what? If you want to store group of bytes or group of byte array in a byte array, it should be in the range of 0 to 256 only. If you are going to store more than that one, we are going to get a value error. So here bytes is immutable and byte array is mutable. This is about bytes and byte array. Now let us go to next data type, that is list data type. This is very important data type. Why this is important data type means in our Python most used data type is list data type only. So as this is a here I will discuss briefly about this list data type. Later we will see every method of list data type. So see here, to insert generally a group of values, we will use a list. It represents a group of values generally where insertion order is preserved. That means what? Whatever the order you are going to give, it will insert the values into same. So I will write here. Okay, let us see where these bytes and byte array are going to be used. Generally these bytes and bytes array are going to be used for, so what are it contains what? 0 to 255. That means what? Binary data. We can generally what bytes are going to be used in binary streams. Okay, here to represent binary data, where we are going to use binary data, like in images, comma, audio files and video files. Okay, that means in this concept we are going to use the concept of bytes and byte array. Okay, now list. So when we are going to use this list means when we want a group of ordered sequence of items. Okay, that means what? If I am going to insert 10, 20, 30, it should be in the same order. The order should not be changed. If you want to store a group of values where we are going to have some sequence of items, then we have to go for list. That means I can say what? List is an ordered sequence of items or elements, anything, no problem. Okay, right. So now, so generally it is one of the most used data type in our Python, and it is very flexibility. That means what, if you want to do any modifications or any updations also we can do here. Okay, so how to represent this list? So we can represent the list by using a square brackets. Okay, that means when the square brackets we have to write the list of items, group of items, and that has to be separated with commas. Okay, two things here we have to understand. What list is? What an ordered list is an ordered sequence of items, and if we want to represent a list we have to use square brackets, and internally to separate the elements in the list we are going to use the comma as a separator. So example, I will show you the example now. So see, I am going to take some L equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30 for example. Okay, here what happens, I have used the square brackets and I am going to insert the elements by having a separator called as comma. So now let us see the type of this L. Type of L, what will be the type of L? List. Okay, so here you have to observe one thing. If I print L, what happens? The elements are going to be printed in same order in which I have given. You can see 10 I have given first, so 10 is printed. 20 second, 20 is printed. 30 I have given in third position, so 30 is printed. That means what? Whatever the elements I have given in some order, in the same order it is going to be printed. Okay, right. Next point is here. If I want to store heterogeneous type of data, first one is what? The elements are inserted in order. Whatever the order you are going to give, in the same way it is going to be printed. Next, second point. First one is insertion order. Insertion order. Second one is what? Heterogeneous. What is meant by heterogeneous? Different. Homogeneous means same. Heterogeneous means different. So we can store heterogeneous elements. Okay, heterogeneous elements. That means what? Here till now what I have shown you, I have stored only int type. Now I want to store different type of data. For example, some L equal to, I want to store some strings. I can store a comma. I want to store some int value, and I want to store some what can I say, float value, and I want to store store some complex value. Now it can store because our list can store heterogeneous type of data, not only same data. Here I have shown you for what? Same data. Next I am going to show you what? Heterogeneous type of data. That means what? I can store any type of data, no problem. So if I print L, it is going to give me all the elements. So see, if you want to see the type of L here, you can observe what? It is a type of list. That means what? If you want to store any data, that means what? Heterogeneous type of data, then we can go for this list data type. Here let us see, I am telling it as a what? Our list is mutable. Mutable means what? Which can be changed. Okay, sorry, the values can be inserted, not changed. The values can be inserted here additionally. That means what? Here you can see what? Only how many elements are there here? Shiva, some values are there here. Now I want to insert some more values to this one. So some more values means what? Here how many? 1 2 3 4 values are there. I want to insert 2 more values for this list. just I have to use a method called as append method is there. Okay, append means it is going to add the values to the existing list. Okay, now I want to add some number 15, so enter. Now I want to see the list. So see, first which value is inserted? Shiva is inserted, so it will be in first order. So whatever the order I have inserted, it is going to follow the same order. So after inserting all the elements, I have inserted 15, so 15 will go to last. If I insert any value, it will go to last only, because whatever the element I am going to insert now will be last element for that list. So I want to insert some 26, for example. Okay, now it is going to be inserted at last. Okay, right. Now 2 points we have discussed, 3 points we have discussed here. Those are what? First one is, whatever the order you are going to give to the list, in the same order it is going to print. That means what? The elements are inserted in order. Next one is, heterogeneous types or heterogeneous objects are allowed. That means what? You can insert any type of data. You can observe in this step. So it is string type, it is int type, it is float type, it is complex type. No problem. Next one is, if you want to insert any data into the list after creation also, we can insert by using a append method. Append method. So sometimes I am calling this one as a method, sometimes I am calling it as a function. So don't worry about these concepts. We will discuss later when we are getting the concept of functions and methods. Now, third point is, duplicates are allowed. Next point is what? Duplicates are allowed. So I'm going to create one list. For example, 10, 20. You can take any type, any values. Already we have seen. For example, Shiva here I'm taking. I want to take some 25. Next, I want to take some Ram here. And I want to show you some duplicates here. So I'm going to take once again Shiva here. Whether it is going to take or not, let us check here. And I want to take 25 again here. So see, it's going to take, it is not going to be any error. So see, if you want to store the duplicate values also, our list is going to allow. Okay, that means what? If you want to store the data where duplicates are needed, then better go for what? List data type. So if you want to store a int type of data, where we have to go? Int data type. If you want to store a floating point numbers, better go for float data type. In the same, if you want to store complex numbers, we have to go for complex. If you want to store the string data type, string type, or that means group of characters, then I have to go for string data type. In the same way, if I want to store a group of elements where insertion order is preserved, that means whatever the order I want to give, in the same way it has to store, then I have to go for list. Then if you want to store a group of heterogeneous data, that means for different types of data, then I have to go for list. Then if you want to store the duplicates also, it is possible, it is allowing me. That means whatever I am discussing is what? The properties of list. If you are having this type of data, then better go for list. Sir, I am having the data only, I don't want duplicates, sir, then don't come for this list, go for some other data type, we will see it later. Okay, where you need some data to be stored which is having different type, that is not heterogeneous type of data you are having, then better come for this listed data type. And you want what? Whatever the order you want to insert, in the same order it has to be stored. So list is having that property. In the same way, in some places I am having what? Some duplicate data is also there. Where to store? Better come to this list data type. Next point is, list is mutable. Already this is, I told you, list is mutable. Mutable means what? Already in this is 0th location, first location, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth location. Now I want to change the location of L of 0 as, for example, L of 0 already 10 is present. I want to change it to, for example, string. I want to store 0. Okay, right. Now see, now what happens? If I print L, what happens? 0 is inserted. That means I can replace, I can change the value already exists in our list. If you can change, that is called as what? Mutable. If you are unable to change, here you can observe. In above example, we can observe that where in bytes, you can observe what? If you try to change the value which is already inserted, okay, that you cannot be changed. So it is what? Immutable. But here, already if the values are inserted, you can change that value. That concept is called as what? Mutable. Okay, next concept is, here first initially what is the size of L I have taken here, for example here. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, total elements are 7. Now see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Now I want to insert some more elements here. Let us try. I can insert or not. Let us see. Append. By using append, what happens here? I am inserting 10 here, for example. What is the size now? First check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Now let us check the size of L. Now see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. That means what? Here the size of the list can be increased or decreased. I will show you how to decrease this one also. Okay. L dot remove of, I want to remove some 25 value. Okay. I want to print L. So now see, you can observe what 225s are there. Only first 25 will be removed here. Okay. If you want to remove this one also, we are having some methods. So we will discuss these concepts whenever we are going to in depth of this list. Okay. So here what I want to show is, if you want to increase the size of a list or if you want to decrease the size of a list, we can do it, no problem. So in the same way as this is sequence of elements, internally how it is going to be stored, same way we have seen, as we are going to see some sequences, in the same way it is going to be stored. For this we are having what? Same indexes. Index concept will be same. Here 0, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Okay. In this way only internally it is going to be stored. Sir, I don't want to store any entry into this one, but I want some memory location for it. For example, L dot append of, there is a none keyword is there. I have shown you already. So if I write in this way, let us see what happens. L. So see here what it is having, none. It is having none. If I print this location, what it is going, let us print this one. L of 0 1 2, I want to print Shiva here. That means L of 2. So L of 2 it is going to print as what? Shiva. This is 2 3 4 5. I want to print L of 5. Then I will get what? 25. Next 6 7, I want to print L of 7. Will it print anything? It will not print anything. That means what? It is none value. None means what? Nothing is there. To represent nothing is there, here we are having none. So L of 7. So is it printed anything here? Nothing will be printed. Okay. This is, so now I will discuss once again the properties of list. So clearly I will explain now. See, if I want to store int type of data, that means what? I want to store a int type, that means whole numbers. Better go for int type. I want to store a floating point number. Better go for float type. Complex numbers, complex type. Next one is a string or boolean type, bool keyword, go to bool type. In the same way, group of characters I want to store, go for this str. And if you want to store a group of byte values, you can go for bytes array and bytes and byte array. Now I want to store, I am having some points. That type of data has to be stored in our some place. That place, those properties I will explain now. First one is, I want data to be inserted in some order. Data to be inserted in some order. These are my rules. And my data is some heterogeneous type. I am having some heterogeneous type. And also the data what I am inserting has some duplicates. Having some duplicates. And after inserting some data also, there is a need of some changing. I need some changing. That is what it should be mutable. Next, the size can be increased or decreased. I don't know whether after inserting some data, there is a chance of deletion and there is a chance of insertion also. Okay. Next, sometimes I want to insert some none also. Next. Okay. These are the different type of properties my data contains. So for which data type I have to go? I have to go for a list data type. Okay. You have to remember all these points. That means what? So I am having some data. So whatever the data I am having, if I store somewhere, it should be arranged in the same order what I have inserted. So insertion order should be preserved. Okay, then I have to go for which one? List. Next one, sir, I am not going to bother about list. Sorry, I am not going to bother about ordering. Then there is another option we are having, that is set. We will see later. Next, I want to store only homogeneous types, sir. That means what? Same type. Then go to some other type. Here I can store what? If you are having heterogeneous type of data, different type of data, then better come for this list. It will give you chance to store the type of data. I have some duplicates also, then come for this list. That property is also there. Once if you are going to store some value, if I want to modify that one, so here list is providing that flexibility also, because list is what? Mutable. In the same way, after storing some elements, I want to increase the size of a list. Yes, we are having that flexibility here, or decrease the size of a list, no problem. So sometimes I want to insert none value, so it is possible. So what are the properties of this list? Insertion order is preserved. First point is what? Insertion order is preserved. Heterogeneous objects are allowed. Duplicates are allowed. It is list is mutable. That means what? You can change the values of the list once it is inserted also. Next, we can increase or decrease the size of a list. Next, none insertion is possible. If you know the Java, we can consider it as a null. Okay, here we are calling it as a none. So none insertion is possible. None means it represents what? If you don't want to insert anything, to represent that one, we are going to insert none. Okay, right. Now these are the properties of our list. So I want to, as list is what? List is a sequence of elements, a group of elements. So let us take a group of elements here. So I want to access them. So already in previous sessions we have seen about what? Slice operator we have seen, and also by using index also we have seen. So same concept here also it is applicable. For example, I am having some values, any values we can have here. Okay, in this way I am having some list. So it is having what indexes it is having. Okay, in the same way, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6 we are having. So here if I want to access this value, 10 value, I can let us consider the name of this one is L. So L of 0, we are going to get which value? 1. In the same way, L of 1, 20. So this is 10, this is 20, and L of 4, for example, we are going to get what? 25.3. So let us see whether we are going to get or not. So already here we are having some list of items. So already I have printed here L of 5 is what? 25. Let us print negative values. That is what? Negative indexes. So L of -1 is nothing but none we are having. So it is not printed anything. So I want to print L of -2. Okay. L of -2. So it is going to give me what? 10. From this side, the indexes are going to, negative indexes are going to be started. Right. Now I want to use slice operator. Already you know about slice operator. We have seen the concept in our strings. So that means what? I want to print a range of elements from one to another, a sequence of elements. That means what? From 0 to I want to print up to 3. Then what I have to use? Just I have to use L of, from where you are begin to end is what? 3. But here what I have to write? 4. Reason is what? Automatically it will take what? Up to 4 minus 1. So if I take 0 to 4, here consider 0 to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3. Up to RAM it will print it. 0 to 4 I will take. If I take 0 to 4, up to where it will printed? 3 only. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So it has to print up to RAM only. Same concept as we have seen in strings. The same rules are applicable for this list also. Slice operator is same anywhere. Now we can also use the concept of step here. We know about stepping. Okay, that means what? Sir, I want to print from some element 0 to 10, sir, or otherwise 0 to 7, sir. I want to alternate values. I want, sir. I don't want all the values. I want alternate values. That means what? Here, first I want to get 0. Next I want to get Shiva. Next I want to get one more Shiva. Next 10 I want to print. Then I have to go for what? Stepping. Stepping I will take 2. By default, what is the step we are having? By default, we are going to have step as 1. Okay. So see what happens here. First 0 is printed. I don't, one step means it will go to 20, but I have taken step as what? 2. So that what happens here? It will go to Shiva. So Shiva is printed. One step means it will go here. 2 steps means it will go to this Shiva. So Shiva is printed. So one step means 25. Second step means 10. So it is printed 10. So the same rules are applicable for this list also, as we have seen in our string. Next year, while discussing string, I have not discussed this point. So no problem. Once again, we will discuss about string in detail. So I want to tell you that one once Shiva is there. I want to, for example, this is S equal to Shiva is there. Now R equal to Ram is there. For example, these are two strings. I want to combine these two strings. For example, name equal to this is, I want to combine these two. Then what I can take? S plus R. This plus is going to act as what? Concatenation symbol. Okay. Concatenation symbol. Concatenation is nothing but what? Combining. For your understanding, it is what? Combining. So what it is going to combine? S and R. What S contains? Shiva. What R contains? Ram. So if you are going to write plus symbol in between strings, it is going to act as a what? Concatenation symbol. But if you are going to write plus in between the numericals, what it is going to act as? Addition symbol, or we can call it as a plus symbol. It is going to give you what? 5. But if you are going to use plus operator in between S and R, sorry, in between the strings, it is going to act as a what? Concatenation symbol, which is nothing but it is going to combine two strings. Okay, let us see once. Okay, here I am going to take some S equal to Shiva. I am going to take some R equal to Ram. I am taking something. You can take anything. S plus R. So let us print name. So see what it happens. It is going to combine the two strings. Okay, that means what happens here? Plus is an operator which is going to help you to combine two strings. Okay, so that plus is called as what? Concatenation symbol when it is applied for two strings. But if you are going to apply plus symbol to numericals, what happens? It is going to act as plus, that is addition. Okay, next I want to show you one more thing, that sir, if I want to print same string multiple times, so generally what happens? So we are having multiplication. If I want to know 2 into 1, what is the answer? 2. If I want to use 2 into 2, 2 times means what? 4. In the same way, if I want to print Shiva multiple times, one string multiple times, how many times I want? I want to print 2 times. Okay. Next, if I want to print 3 times, you can use. That means what? If I am going to apply into, that is what? Multiplication operator for a string, it is going to repeat the same string multiple times. So whenever you are going to apply plus here, you have to understand this one. Whenever you are going to apply plus for a strings, it is going to concatenate those two. If you are going to apply into symbol, or we can say multiplication symbol for a string, compulsory one should be string, another should be what we can say integer. So see, it is also possible. 2 into Shiva is also possible, or some value, some name I am going to take. So see, it is also possible. But if you are going to take Shiva into Ram, for example, it is not possible, because two strings cannot be taken for multiplication operator. So Shiva, if I take into Ram, what happens? It is going to give you mistake. Sorry, some error. See, it is going to give you cannot multiply sequence by non-int. Compulsory one should be what? If you are going to use this operator, compulsory what should be there? One int type should be there, another should be a string type. So what happens here for plus operator? Let us see. Already Shiva is there. I am going to combine S plus 3. Okay, already what is meant by S? Let us print what is meant by S here. S is what? Shiva is there. So S plus R I am taking. Okay, what happens? Shivaram is printed. S plus 3 is printed. What happened? We are going to get what? Error. Reason is what? If you are going to use plus between the strings, compulsory 2 should be strings only. But if you are going to use multiplication operator with a string, compulsory one should be string, another should be int type. It should not be float type also, it should be int type. So that int type can be first value or it may be second value, no problem. Okay, the same rules let us see for our so this into operator, that is we can call it as a repetition operator. Into can be called as what? Repetition operator. Reason is what? It is going to repeat the string or the list what I am going to give to that operator. It is going to repeat. So here I am going to consider one list. So 10 or 20 comma 50 comma 60, for example, I have taken one list. I want to print the list repeatedly. 2 times I want to print. Just use L into 2. So what happens? L into 2, what happens? Same list is printed 2 times. If I want to print 3 times, no problem, you can print. You can print any number of times. Okay. This is what repetition operator. So now let us see to retrieve the objects from the list. That means what? Sir, here group of objects are there, or group of elements are there. I want to print one by one. Okay, same. Let us go for same program here. For loop is there. We can take for loop to print that one. No problem. So see here, I am going to say, take some x. So x equal to, I am going to take group of operators here. Some 10 comma 20 comma. Some name I am going to take. Next one, I want to take some floating point number. Next, I want to show you by taking none also in between, none, and I want to take one complex number also, 10 plus 20 j. Now see, if I execute this program to retrieve the elements of list one by one, then I have to go for what? This for loop. So see what happens here, 10 20 Shiva 12.5, none is printed here. Okay, 10 plus 20 j, none indicates what? None indicates nothing. So if you want to print individually, nothing is there. How it can print? It is not going to print anything. Okay, right, none indicates nothing is there. So this is about our list. So once briefly let us see once again what is meant by, what are the properties of list. So what is the first property of a list? First property of a list is, if you want to insert a group of elements in some order, then I have to go for what? List. So first property is insertion order is preserved. So list property is what? Insertion order is preserved. First property, insertion order is preserved. Next, second one is what? Heterogeneous objects are allowed. Heterogeneous objects is nothing but data. Any data, objects are allowed. Next one, duplicate values are allowed. Duplicate values are objects. Values are allowed. Okay. Next one is what? Our list is mutable. Okay, we can change. List is mutable. Next, size can be, list size can be increased or decreased. Increased or it can be decreased. That means what? Once we are going to create a list, it can be decreased or increased. Next, last property is what? None value is, so null value can be inserted. Right, these are the different properties of our list. So with this list, what can I use to access the elements? So for accessing the elements of a list, accessing elements of a list, we can have what? We are having two types, same here as we have seen in our strings. One is index, by using the index, or by using the slice operator. Okay, so if you want to repeat, if you want to apply any operator, star operator can be applied. Okay, so which can we call as a, where we can call it as a repetition operator. So if you are going to give some list into some value here, then it is going to print how many times? Value number of times. Okay, so this is about list data type. Okay, next let us see about, these are the rules. Okay, next let us go to tuple data type. So tuple is also one data type. Now let us see about tuple data type. So here list is mutable. So list is what? Mutable. But here tuple is immutable. Tuple is what? Immutable. Now, next data type I am going to discuss, that is tuple. Tuple is what? Immutable. And next, to represent a list, we are going to have what? Square brackets. So to represent this tuple, we are going to have normal brackets, brackets. Okay, so same, all rules are same for this list and tuple, but only the difference is what? That there the representation is square brackets, here the representation is normal brackets, or we can say it as a parenthesis. And here same, to differentiate, to separate the elements, we are going to use commas. Okay, let us see with some examples. Here I am going to consider one tuple, some t equal to, not only t, you can take any name. I want to take a group of values, so some 10 comma 20 comma 30 for example. So let us see type of t. So see, what is the type of t here? Tuple type. So now if I want to see, it is also possible to have what? Duplicate values also. Sorry, what? Heterogeneous type also. I will take some heterogeneous type now. So some 10 comma Shiva comma some 10 12.5 for example. Different data we are having, so it is possible to take. Here you have to observe the same things. Whatever you are seeing here, insertion order is preserved, heterogeneous objects are allowed. Second point is completed. Now I will insert duplicate values. Okay, so duplicate values I am going to insert. T equal to, for example, I will take 10 comma 20 comma 10 comma 20 duplicate values. So no problem, it is going to allow. Next one is what? List is mutable, but here our tuple is what? Immutable. That point is only the difference. So t of 0 equal to, I want to change the value of this one. So see what happens. Tuple object does not support item assignment. That means what? We cannot insert the values once already if the values are inserted. Okay, next value is what? Size can be increased or decreased. Here there is no concept. Okay, if I try to append, for example, append of 120, what happened? Tuple object has no append. Okay, same here, the same concept is applicable. None insertion. Okay, let us take some t equal to 10 comma 20 comma none I want to insert. Okay, so no problem, none is going to be inserted. All properties are same except tuple is what? Immutable and list is mutable. So here some rules are there. Those rules are nothing but what? If I want to insert, see here, if I write a equal to 20, a is which type? Int type. Let us see type of a. Type of a is what? Int type. But to store, if you want to store a individual, listen carefully, if you want to store a only one element in a tuple, see here what I am storing, one element in a tuple. If I see type of a here, it is not going to show you as a tuple, it is going to show you what? Int. But inside a brackets only we have, inside a parenthesis only we have written, but also it is going to show you what? Int type. So if you want to store individual only single value inside a tuple, then what I have to do means I have to place a comma. Now see, if I see t, what happens? 20 is there, and if I'm going to print type of t, what it is going to print? It is going to give me as tuple. So to represent a single value inside a tuple, what we have to do? We have to write a value and we have to place a comma. Next point is it compulsory to have brackets for a tuple? No need. Without brackets also I can take some t equal to or some x equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 50 for example. Enter. Now let us check what is the type of x. So type of x, what is that? It is a tuple. So here also same, we can also apply what we can say, repetition operator, same concept. Okay, so generally here we have to observe one thing, that it is actually the comma which makes the tuple, not the parenthesis. One point you have to understand. If you are going to write a group of values with only comma without having any brackets or curly braces or square brackets, by default it is going to take as what? Tuple only. Okay, once again briefly I will explain about this tuple. Whatever the rules that are applicable for our list, all are same except your list is immutable. Sorry, your list is what? Mutable. Our list tuple is immutable. Tuple is immutable, list is mutable. And there we are going to use what? Square brackets. Here we are going to use curly braces, normal braces or parentheses. If you are not going to use this parenthesis also, by using commas also we can create a tuple. Okay, so one thing you have to understand is what these brackets are not going to make our tuple. This comma, these commas are going to create our tuple. So if you observe this one, because of this comma only, t makes what as a tuple. So a is what 20. This bracket is not going to make this a as a tuple. It is going to make as a what int. If I place comma, it is going to be converted into tuple. So what the comma which makes a tuple, not a parenthesis. You have to understand this point. So remaining all properties are same as our list only. Okay. So in next class we will discuss about remaining data types.